Yordano Ventura on the mound means many things. If anything, it's never boring. And he has to feel good about pitching in Cleveland, as the Royals bats had scored 17 runs in the first 2 games. The Royals go for a sweep next. Royals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. It has been 12 years since the Royals have swept a 3-game series here, and that's what they go for tonight at Progressive Field in Cleveland. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre, and pretty soon we'll be joined by Joe Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery. And we are very excited to get back to Kauffman Stadium. The Tigers will be waiting for the Royals in Kansas City, but Hud, first things first.
That's right. You cannot overlook one game at a time. That theory is working for this ball club, and they all know it. Look, a sweep would be sweet.
It's only 20 games, and yet there are some numbers that have significantly improved this year. Here's our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard. You know about the record. More runs, more power. Quite a spike as far as slugging percentage goes. Starting rotation down a little bit compared to last year, but man, the bullpen is the best in the world. And something that we really can't show in a number, Hud, this team has a knack, and they did it again last night. When the opposing team gets a big hit, the Royals come right back.
Absolutely they do. And I'll tell you what, they are developing this tremendous swagger of confidence whenever they fall behind. 9 of their 14 wins this year come from behind. That is a dangerous proposition for the rest of the league to try to handle that, because you can't contain them. Seems like they put the pressure on late in games. Gotta love it.
And you gotta love the Royals' chances tonight as they have Yordano Ventura on the mound and his 96-mile-an-hour fastball against Danny Salazar and his 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
a 4.09 ERA, set for start number 5 on the season. Joel Goldberg back with Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery. And now other teams want to know, will he stay in a game because he's left the last 4 with injury and ejection?
Well, it's time for us to learn, Joel, if he's learned from this experience. Something you can't read in a book. You have to learn as you go. He's been exposed to a lot here early in the season. It's really his responsibility now to move forward without any more incidents.
Our T-Mobile Game Changer takes a look at the road warrior, Yordano Ventura, because in 10 of his last 12 road starts, the Royals have won those, so that is good. And the numbers, 7-2 with a 3.45 in that span, and in a couple of road postseason starts with wins too. So very positives. But 2 injuries and then 2 ejections, he needs to turn things around.
Yeah, I think he has the ability to focus. We saw it in the big stage last year in the postseason. If he takes that game out here and does exactly what he's capable of, I don't think there should be any worries. But we should expect that other teams will do everything they can possibly do to get under his skin and get him out of his game.
So there is a target on his back, right?
I would think so.
And if you're the other team, you're not really playing nice.
You're not going to play nice, and I don't think the league is going to play nice with Yordano in the future.
But if he has his stuff and can ignore it, he's going to pitch very well. He's being opposed by Danny Salazar. First pitch is next.
Uverse high-speed internet. The Uverse revolves around you. Call 1-800-PICK-ATT. By your Kansas City Chevy dealers. Visit your Chevy dealer today for great prices on all the new 2015 vehicles. And by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. The last time the Royals swept a 3-game series in Cleveland was June of 2003. And here's Ned Yost. State Farm lineup for tonight. And the only change, Paulo Orlando will start in right field. Danny Salazar, Cleveland right-hander, is tougher on lefties than he is on right-hand batters. So Dyson will start on the bench. And Orlando is back in right. And for the second straight game, the Royals had 8 of 9 starters with at least 1 hit. And it's already the 8th time this season the Royals have had 8 starters with at least 1 hit. Facing hard-throwing right-hander Danny Salazar.
The last 2 Cleveland Indians starters in the first 2 games of this series came in with really good numbers and also, good reputations. And the Royals have come away with 2-0 against those guys. Salazar, he's going to have to locate. That's for sure. He does have power fastball we talked about. Also, he's got a nice breaking ball, slider, curve combination, and a changeup. Got good angle to his breaking ball, his fastball. He's going to elevate it with a four-seamer. He's got some two-seam run, really good life on his fastball.
Last year, the Cleveland Indians committed more errors than any team in the major leagues, and they're having more problems again this year and have committed 4 errors in the first 2 games of this series.
Pretty simple at this level up here. You don't catch the ball, you don't win. Especially against a team like the Royals that make opponents pay whenever they miscue.
Jerry Meals, the crew chief, will be back at the plate. Paul Emmel at first, Jordan Baker at second, and Andy Fletcher will be at third. A win tonight, and the Royals would be 9 games over 500 for the first time this season. This will be their 3rd shot at getting to 9 games above. And as Joel said, it is a pretty night in Cleveland. Still a bit on the cool side, but a lot warmer than it was 2 nights ago, and very little wind, and especially wind coming off the lake. That was the problem on Monday night. So the playing conditions have gotten a little better each day. And now Alcides Escobar making his way to the plate. Escobar was hitless in game 1 and then had 2 hard hit outs early in the game last night. Really had a feeling that he was getting his swing back. He was laying off some borderline pitches. He ended up with a big RBI double in the 7th inning and then another hit in the 8th.
He's not a cold weather hitter. He let that take him out of the first game. He was pulling off everything. Then he got back into his game last night.
And the game's first pitch will land in the crowd.
So you're going to see an aggressive Royals offense against Salazar. They want to hit the fastball, obviously, because there's not a hitter in the majors that I know of that didn't like to hit a hard fastball. So they're going to be trying to jump on that early.
And like a lot of Indians pitchers, Salazar can pile up the strikeouts, and he had 11 in his last start. And that was Friday at Detroit. 11 strikeouts in 7 innings. He threw a lot of pitches. He threw 115 pitches in that game, so we'll see if that affects him tonight. 1-2.
Fastball, slider, fastball.
It is the 2nd most pitches in a game in his career. 115 on Friday. He was the winner and got big run support. The Indians won that game 13-1. Hard hit and a base hit into left field for Escobar to open the game.
You beat the Tigers, you pitched against them, because you have to pitch, and the Royals will find that out this weekend as they play the Tigers. Good offensive hitting team, but you know, so are the Royals. Escobar, nice start. Little nice crisp base hit to left.
Mike Moustakas up to 346. He has 6 hits in the first 2 games, 4 of those in game 1. He has scored 3 runs.
Oh,
there's a 7th hit and a rocket into center field, and the Royals have 2 on, nobody out.
Chuck and duck. First pitch, Moose right back up the box. Salazar could be in trouble early. I mean, look, he's facing, well, that guy Moose, he's in the top 10 in a lot of offensive categories. Unbelievable, Rhino. His start he's gotten off to, but that was loud. You could see Salazar, he ducked. Now Lorenzo Cain, who's the only hitter in the lineup that couldn't get a knock last night, in a run producing opportunity right here. He's hitting 250 with runners in scoring position. First 2 hitters have swung at the first pitch. Let's see if Salazar mixes one up, a little slider here. .96 outside to Cain.
Very little difference for Kane whether you have runners on or the base is empty.
Same approach. Think middle of the field.
There's a good hard slider.
And Moustakas, you know, he's third in the league in hits. He's on base all the time now. Watch him. He's going to get a big lead, but he's watching Escobar. He's thinking about a double steal. If Escobar goes, he's going to go.
Two and one on Kane. Renzo got off to that great start, driving in runs, hitting for extra bases, and now the league is pitching him very carefully. And just 1 RBI in his last 10 games. And he got a fastball and he hits it foul up the right field side. 2-2.
Right idea. Keeping his bottom hand inside that baseball, shoot the ball the other way. We'll probably try to get him on a slider here. Get him to swing out of the zone. Last few games he's been a little bit too aggressive. Swinging at pitches that aren't his.
And he lays off that pitch. It looked like Salazar's splitter.
It's a beauty. Almost fooled the catcher Perez. You can see how that ball moves down and into a righty. That last one did anyway. Lorenzo's got to be expecting the heater. 96. That's a way above average fastball.
Little half swing. And Chisenhall will throw him out. But it's a productive out as Escobar goes to third. Moustakas moves up to second.
So Kane was expecting the fastball as well, and they got a little slider, and he couldn't hold up on it. When a hitter sees that, it takes a little while to get used to. Once you see it, instead of your eyes telling your hands to stop the swing, you just swing anyway. You stay on it, you'll be surprised how hard you can hit those when you get fooled, but just stay on it and stay through it. Anyway, second and third, great opportunity. Infield back, especially the middle.
A splitter. 1 strike on Hosmer. Shadows will be an issue in the early innings, which I imagine will make it harder for the hitters to pick up the spin on that hard slider.
Sure does. Hosmer guessing fastball first pitch all the way. Got to get a run in here in the first for Giordano.
Kipnis makes a leaping play on the right side, 2 down.
He blistered that one. He gets underneath that. That's 3 runs on the board.
And as soon as that ball was hit, Roberto Perez, the Indians catcher, he went sprinting out to the mound. Have a word with Salazar. And maybe he said, hey man, you and I sat together on the bench last night watching these guys hit.
Better be careful with your location for sure. He has to throw the fastball. That's his pitch, but you better keep it on the corners and up out of the hitting zone. First base open. That's okay. Alex is on deck. So Morales wants to still be aggressive and not get caught off guard.
Overthrew that fastball. 96 to Morales, who had the biggest hit in the Royals' 6-run 7th inning, hitting a 3-run home run against Brian Shaw, and Morales had a career high 4 runs scored last night. Now trying to drive in Escobar from third and Moustakas from second, and Perez keeps it close to the plate. 2 balls, no strikes.
I had to look down quickly and see how many wild pitches that Salazar has thrown this year. He hasn't thrown one yet, but Escobar needs to be ready for that. He's got really good stuff. I could tell Perez was unsure on a couple of fastballs. He looks like he was a little bit unsure of him. Be ready to score on a ball bouncing. Pick your poison. If they're trying to pitch around Morales, Alex is there to back him up.
Base hit into center field. Escobar scores. Moustakas to the plate. The throw is cut off. And Kendrys Morales, who had the big hit last night, putting the game on ice. He has driven in 5 runs the last 2 games, and the Royals lead 2-0.
There it was. He's waiting for that piece of cheese. Absolutely, Salazar not locating that fastball, and the Royals are letting him know it. That's 3 hard hit balls, actually 4 if you count Hosmer's line out to the second baseman. Great job of picking up the scraps.
And more 2-out RBIs. Alex got a fastball up at 96.
I was talking with Alex about that gargantuous home run. A gargantuan home run. And he hit. I said, you know, I didn't hit many, Alex, but I hit a few where you don't even feel it, do you? He says, I never even felt contact. When you meet a ball with your bat in a perfect location on the barrel, you barely even feel it, man. It's really strange that you don't feel that, but
we heard it, though.
Oh, man. I think the whole city of Cleveland heard it. Might have shattered some windows.
1-2 on Alex. Remember, Alex started the year 1 for 16. He has hit .381 since then and .545 in his last 3 games. Royals now have 44 2-out RBIs after the Morales 2-run single in this inning. 97 from Salazar. Alex has driven in 6 on this road trip, and half of those have been go-ahead RBIs. Two and two.
Just got to believe that guy right there is going inside. He's going, oh, really? Oh, no. Ventura's going to get a toe the slab with a 2-0 lead.
Perez hung on. Salazar finishes the inning with a strikeout. But Kendrys Morales has driven in 5 runs in the last 2 games. Tonight, after an Escobar and Moustakas single, with 2 down, Morales gets them both home.
Pass out a set of earplugs to everyone in attendance. His smile.
We're off to a 6-13 start, and before Yordano Ventura gets on the mound, he has a 2-run lead. Terry Francona going with his left-hand bats against Yordano Ventura. Facing Yordano Ventura, who made his big league debut a couple of years ago against Cleveland. And now in 5 career starts, he is 3-0 with a 1.57 against the Indians. He is truly in the driver's seat against the Indians. Jason Kipnis, Jose Ramirez, and Michael Brantley in the bottom of the first inning. You know, this might be a little more than the Royals and the Indians tonight. Just looking at the background of the 2 starting pitchers. Danny Salazar and Yordano Ventura. Alex out in left field waiting for it and brings it down with one hand. First, we'll take a look at the Royals defensively, presented by Ford. Far and away, this defense leading the major leagues in defensive runs saved.
And you won't get a single argument from anyone in baseball. Hands down. Fundamentally sound. They focus on each play. And they're athletic. Extremely athletic.
How about Ventura, the way he bounced off the mound right there after delivering that pitch, seeing Ramirez shorten the bunt.
I said athletic. Ventura, he might be as good as any of them out there.
Out in front of the plate. And Sal takes care of Ramirez. So Yordano Ventura. See if you see a pattern here, Hud. Yordano Ventura, 23 years old, 6 foot, 180, from the Dominican Republic. Throws hard, fastball 96, 97 on average. Danny Salazar, 25 years old, 6 foot, 190, from the Dominican Republic. Fastball 96, 97 miles an hour. This might be for some off-season bragging rights.
And it could be that these hitters see these 2 for a long time to come. You hope.
Wow. Did you see that?
How did Sal even catch it?
Oh my gosh.
That was a 2-seamer. Look at the movement on this thing.
I'm sorry, if I'm Brantley, I want the umpire to take a look at that baseball.
There's a 2-seamer that started in on him and then reached back over the plate.
Brian Shapiro just told me that first pitch was also in the grid. Could have been called a strike.
They crossed the plate somewhere.
It's that first pitch, the movement.
Yeah, you wonder about that. I think it moved too much for Jerry Meals.
Well, you got to give him something. 3-1 on Brantley. Brantley hit over 400 against the Royals last year. 2 hits in this series and quite a few hard hit outs. That ball was hit pretty good, but Eric Hosmer swiping with a short hop to help Ventura to a very quick 9-pitch bottom of the first. Normally see Royals fans in Cleveland, or a lot of Royals fans in Cleveland, but little specks of blue and white jerseys, especially on the first base and right field side. Salvador Perez, Omar Infante, and Paulo Orlando will bat for the Royals in the second inning. Kendrys Morales had a 2-out 2-run single in the first, scoring Escobar and Moustakas. Jerry Meals says that's a swing, and it's 1-1.
Salvador Perez leading off another inning. He's been pretty good in that leadoff spot. One of the reasons why Dale Swain believes he's going to have 80 RBIs or more, it's because he's using the opposite field. He's not rolling over his top hand, and that's going to help him. There's more holes in the middle and the other side.
That pitch stayed up, and Ramirez got a glove on it, throws a strike from a knee.
Well, Salazar's not fooling anybody, because there are nothing but rockets being hit so far early. Salvi got robbed. Nice play.
Thank you very much. Having a tough time getting his first pitch breaking ball over a first strike. I think the Royals have already picked up on that.
He don't get that pitch over, he's in big trouble. Because obviously the Royals are looking to turn and burn on the heater.
And now Chisenhall makes a nice play over at third. 2 down. Paulo Orlando comes up, and we take a peek at tonight's league leaders, brought to you by your Kansas City Toyota dealers. And if the Royals don't have enough going for them early in this season, when they are down, they are not out. They have the most comeback wins in the major leagues, and they had another one last night, and they did it late. Cleveland scored 3 in the bottom of the 6th inning. They had a 2-run lead going into the 7th. And I would imagine we're feeling pretty good. Got a late inning lead, and all the Royals did was score 8 runs in the last 3 innings. Paulo Orlando hits it right on the nose. It's been noisy. I would think Danny Salazar feels a bit fortunate at this moment. The Royals lead 2-0. Second inning, and remind you, as you enjoy a cold one and enjoy tonight's game, to look forward to Miller Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Ventura had a 9-pitch first inning, 3 up, 3 down. And now he'll see 3 left-hand bats, starting with Carlos Santana. He takes a fastball at 94 for a strike. One and one.
Giordano backed him off. And there was a reason he backed him off. 5 for 14 with a couple ding-dongs, and he's wanted to be too comfortable up there.
He had a lot of ding-dongs against the Royals last year. He hit 7, Santana did, and 5 in one series, which was a Kauffman Stadium record for a visiting player. 3 balls, 1 strike. And Santana has 15 career home runs against the Royals. And he's on with a leadoff walk. Don't forget the 2015 Major League All-Star voting has begun, and there are many deserving Royals, so be sure to go to Royals.com/vote right now to cast your selections. 9 Royals on the ballot. This year, all voting is online, and you can vote up to 35 times on the exclusive Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot.
Folks, vote for Salvi. What a great shot there. Animated. No paper ballots at the ballpark this year. Save on the trees.
And now 2-0 on Moss. Something I'll always remember as a kid, getting that All-Star ballot and poking the little holes for, I say, the players I felt most deserving in the All-Star game, but that would be a lie. It was, I voted for every Dodger. I didn't care what kind of a year they were having.
That's right.
But I think that's what most kids would do. Who were you when you were a kid? Who was your favorite team in Fresno? Were you a Bay Area guy?
Giants.
Giants?
I kind of like the Giants. Yeah,
Okay.
Chris Spire was my shortstop. Dick Dietz, the catcher. He was a guy I followed. Of course, Willie McCovey. First big league game I ever went to was at the Stick. How about you? Dodger Stadium?
The one I remember was Dodger Stadium. Brandon Moss hit another home run against the Royals. He had a 3-run home run off of Brandon Finnegan in the bottom of the 6th inning to put the Indians ahead very briefly, 5-3. Kane, right on the edge of the shadows in the sunlight, makes the play. Moss is the first out of the 2nd inning. Told this story 100 times, I'm sure, but when I think of Giordano Ventura, and we were doing the game together when he made his big league debut, 21 years old, big arm, we knew that, didn't know if he was ready for the big leagues, facing these Cleveland Indians at Kauffman Stadium, and he walks Michael Bourne to begin the game on 4 straight pitches. We thought, oh boy. And for those of us who've been around long enough, you might remember the name Miguel Asensio, who threw 16 straight balls in his big league debut. But I remember Ventura, 2 pitches later, got a comebacker. And then the fear is, oh no, he's going to throw this ball into center field because he wants a double play so badly. He threw a perfect strike to Alcides Escobar, 1-6-3, struck out the next hitter, ended up facing only 3 after a 4-pitch walk, and from there, off and running.
I remember.
Kane sprinting back into left center field and runs it down on the track.
Murphy shaking his head. You know, that'll really upset you. Hit a ball, you crush a ball like that, you're thinking extra bases for sure. But he forgot who he was hitting it to. Lorenzo Cain ran that down with room to spare. I looked at Murphy right away and he's shaking his head. Doggone it, you hit one that hard, you got to get some kind of love. But Lorenzo Cain, if it stays in the yard, he'll catch it.
Lonnie Chisenhall with the runner at first, 2 down. In for a strike at 95.
I don't know what's louder, Salvador Perez's glove when the ball hits it, or the contact the Royals hitters are making on Salazar. Salvi reminding Ventura to come set. Don't give him an extra base.
One and two.
You know, in that ball that Salvi throws back to the pitcher, I hear a pop in Ventura's glove as well.
Save by Perez. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Average fastball velocity is 96 miles an hour. That is the fastest average velocity of all major league starters. Now Santana will be running on this 3-2 pitch. So Hosmer backs off on the right side, and Chisenhall strikes out on a cutter. Ventura's first strikeout of the night, and he gets around the leadoff walk to Santana. That's Chris Medlin earlier this afternoon, throwing off the mound and getting ready to head to Arizona soon to pitch to live hitters. University of Kansas Hospital injury report. Recovering from a second Tommy John surgery. Out there working with Dave Island.
Dr. Island's giving him some tips right there.
Alcides Escobar led off the first inning, and he singled and scored. Mike Moustakas singled after Escobar, and with 2 down, Kendrys Morales got him home. second strikeout for Salazar, both with the same pitch, a splitter. And in talking to some of the Royals hitters before the game tonight and bringing up what makes him tough when he's on, all they talked about was the splitter.
And that's why we saw Royals' first ball fastball swinging on him first inning. A lot easier to hit the straight one.
Salazar not challenging Moustakas with a fastball this time. He threw Moustakas a first pitch fastball in the first, and he hit a laser beam into center field for a single. So Mike Moustakas is 7 out of 11 in this series. No swing.
Being very selective. We talked about Moose being in the top 10 in a lot of offensive categories. Batting average, runs, hits, on base percentage, road batting average, night batting average, hit by pitches, hardest to fan. He only strikes out 1 every 10 times. He's in the top 10 in that category.
And he's been a great fit in the number 2 spot. He has more hits and more runs scored than any other number 2 hitter in baseball. And we made the comparison last night between Moustakas and Alex Gordon. A few years ago, the Royals had a need at the leadoff spot, and Ned Yost put him there. Didn't seem like a likely destination for Alex, but it was a perfect fit for the Royals and for Alex. And another base hit for Moustakas. That's 8 hits in this series. He's 2 for 2 tonight and on with 1 out.
Check out how Moose rounds the bag at first base. He's making that outfielder stop him now. That's a changeup. Yeah, now it stayed up for Moose. But he laces it right by Santana there. Now he's taken off. Watch him now. He's been make that turn. That's what you get a little momentum going towards second base. He's a different guy. We talked yesterday about them giving Moose a lot of attention, throwing over to first, trying to pick him off. They had a pick off at second on him.
That led Ramirez right to the bag. Santana wasn't able to stay on first. And the Indians do not turn the double play, although it looked like Santana may have pointed to his dugout, thinking that he did keep his foot on the bag. Terry Francona has 1 foot in the dugout, 1 foot out of the dugout. And Terry Francona is going to ask to have this reviewed.
Can't tell from that angle there. Anyway, Moose told me that he was really, it made him feel good that he was getting attention on the bases. He says, everybody knows I'm not a burning type of base stealing guy, but he feels like he's got good instincts. He's a good instinctive base runner, and that it's made him better now that he's in that second hole. Now, he didn't look on the base there. That's the best angle looks like we got. Hard to tell from that angle.
So right now it is a force out at second base. Kane safe at first with 2 down. And Terry Francona thinks the Indians should be awarded a 6-3 double play. Here's another angle. Ball in the glove. You see, the tough part about that angle is that Kane obscures Santana's glove. Do you see the ball when it hits his glove?
Hard to tell.
In the glove. Now that one looks like he still might have his foot on there, but
yep, that might be the best angle.
Well, the umpires in New York are seeing what we're seeing, and there's nothing definitive. So they're taking long looks at it. Now we're going to get a decision. And the Indians lose their challenge. So the call stands. No evidence one way or the other. So in deference to the call on the field, Kane is safe at first base on a 6 unassisted force out. Eric Hosmer lined to second his first time up.
You might wonder why Francona challenged so early in the game. He knows what the Royals do with 2 outs. So you know what? They got the meat of their order coming up. Seems like the meat of their order is everywhere from 1 through 9. There are no soft outs in there.
Ball 1 to Hosmer. Eric lined out to the second baseman Kipnis in the first inning, and that was with runners at second and third and 1 out. So Kipnis recorded the second out. Salazar looked like he might get out of it, and then Kendrys Morales drove in 2 with the single. 1-1.
Salazar, after seeing what Hosmer did in the first at bat, lined a P-Rod shot to the short or to the second baseman. He's staying away from it. Fastball's away.
Lorenzo Cain got the greatest jump in the history of base stealers, but Eric Hosmer thought he had a pitch that he could drive and fouled it away.
That's a Torrey Hunter jump. Torrey Hunter used to do this. Take off a couple of split seconds before the pitcher even goes home. So too bad Hosmer couldn't see that and let him walk into second.
That is foul up the left field line. Hosmer's had very little trouble with Salazar. If you include his line out tonight, he is 5 for 10 against his pitcher with 3 doubles. So he picks up the ball well out of Salazar's hand. Cain doesn't have a real threatening lead over at first. 2-2.
Good pitch to run on that split finger. Ends up in the dirt. Hosmer doing a nice job of spitting on it, not trying to swing at everything. Much more selective this year. Better eye. .411 on base percentage. Getting his walks. 12 walks, as a matter of fact, leads the Royals. Only makes you a better hitter when you can eyeball. Wait for your pitch and mash it.
Well, that early break for Cain to second base has really caught Salazar's attention, which is good for Hosmer. He's got Salazar's attention divided. Out to Chisenhall, and that's the inning. Royals strand a runner in the top of the third and have a 2-0 lead. Line with rapid pickup at delivery.panerabread.com. By Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Dodge, born Dodge. Royals 2, Indians nothing. Kendrys Morales with a 2-out, 2-run single in the first inning. Yordano Ventura has had 2 scoreless innings. Got around a leadoff walk in the second, and now the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the third. Roberto Perez, who is 0 for his last 18. And didn't it always seem, Hud, when you were 0 for your last 18 that you'd be facing somebody like Yordano Ventura?
Seems like that. No, that's just the way it goes sometimes in baseball. But one good thing about facing an ace is that all your buddies and your family expect you to go over. But if you get a couple of hits, wow, all of a sudden you're like, you got a couple of hits off Ventura? That's why I always like to face the good guys. It was the 4th and 5th starters that didn't have much when you went 0 for 4. That hurt. There you go.
There you go. And that was a tough pitch to hit, too. It was up at 94 miles an hour. But Perez had a pretty good idea he was going to get a fastball at 3-1.
Stayed on top of that top end very nicely.
So now he's 1 for his last 1.
Hit 1,000 off of Ventura.
Michael Bourne, Indians number 9 hitter. And that ball's hit hard to right field. Orlando bobbles it for a moment, but recovers quickly. Those are the first 2 hits for the Indians against Ventura tonight. Well, we're home tomorrow on a Thursday, and come cheer on All-Star and Gold Glove winner Alex Gordon in his fan section, Gordo Nation. For only $30, you get this limited edition Charlie Hustle brand t-shirt with a seat near Alex in left field. Plus, the first 100 Gordo Nation ticket holders receive an Alex Gordon big head. Still don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's the big one. We would have the picture, but it's a gigantic head with a little tongue depressor on the bottom.
I got you.
An overly large tongue depressor.
Okay. Ball 1 to Kipnis. Kind of like the ones that had like the eyes cut out.
Yeah. We've seen them around the ballpark. So.
Okay.
It'd be easy for Alex to have a big head, especially the way he's been playing, but he's a very humble guy.
Kipnis not bunting, and ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes.
Salvador last inning, he's always keeping an eye on his guys, and he knows that the shoulder from Ventura is the big problem at times. See how he pounded his left shoulder? Salvi did. He said, keep the shoulder in, keep it closed, so you don't fly open.
Well hit to right field. Paulo Orlando is back, and Jason Kipnis hits his first home run since July. And in a flash, the Cleveland Indians take the lead 3-0. Take that back 3-2. Jason Kipnis had gone 286 consecutive plate appearances without a home run, and he knew right away.
Yep, fastball inner half, good level swing, got up underneath the ball, he knew it was out.
Well, it all started with a hitter 0 for his last 18 and falling behind him 3-1. Had to throw him a strike. Perez singles, Bourne singles. He was struggling. And now Kipnis putting the Indians in front by 1.
Fourth homer given up by Ventura.
Ramirez helped him out, chasing a pitch down in the dirt, and that's the first out of the inning.
Stepping in for the Tribe, number 23, Michael Brantley.
I don't think anybody on the Royals side is sweating the fact that Cleveland just took the lead. Matter of fact, I think they're saying to themselves, oh, okay, you want to go take the lead? Go ahead.
Sounded like, nope, didn't get Brantley on the foot. Very close. 1 ball and no strikes. Brantley grounded to first his first time up.
9 of the 14 Royals wins are all come from behind it. Most of them are in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. Disregarding bullpens and destroying bullpens in the league. Tigers are next.
Two and one on Brantley. Another ground ball out to Infante. So after the 3-run home run, Ventura gets a couple of ground outs from Ramirez and Brantley. Also coming up this weekend with the Tigers in town, you don't want to miss the 2nd annual Zubaz Palooza. That's Friday. Special ticket package will feature one-of-a-kind powder blue Royals themed Zubaz pants and a game ticket. And those packages start at just $25. So purchase today at royals.com/special events. Big swing by Carlos Santana. He walked leading off the 2nd inning, and Ventura came back to get the next 3.
Just be careful, stay out of that middle, especially to a couple of these guys that can put up runs in one swing.
Another ground ball. Hosmer to the bag, and that's the inning. Jason Kipnis hits his first home run since last July, and Cleveland leads 3-2. trusted brand, Honda. This is his 3-run home run in the 7th inning last night.
Amazes me how easy the swing looked. I mean, it looked like he was just trying to make some contact and serve the ball to left field. That's how, that's when you put that ball or that bat head right where you want it, that ball jumps.
Royals are playing in their 21st game tonight. Morales has played in all 21, and he has at least one hit in 19 of the 21 games. And his hit tonight was a 2-run single in the 1st inning with 2 outs, scoring Escobar and Moustakas. That's a 3-pitch strikeout for Salazar, who pitches with the lead for the first time tonight. And it's his 3rd strikeout.
The hitter for Kansas City, the left fielder, Alex Gordon.
And that'll bring up Alex Gordon with 1 down. We remind you to vote for the Royals Player of the Month at rallyhouse.com. And you'll be entered to win a majestic prize pack from Rally House.
Going to be a tough vote. Who gets Player of the Month?
And the Royals are working on one of their best Aprils in franchise history. Royals are 14-6, and as far as winning percentage goes, right now that's the 2nd best, trailing only the 1978 Royals. They went 14-5, and the Royals still have tonight's game and then the beginning of the Tigers series before we wrap up the month of April.
Yep. One more day in April. I'm saying Moose has to have the best April of everybody. Just my opinion.
Foul tip and a strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts for Salazar, who is suddenly getting his slider over for a strike, making it more tempting for the Royals hitters.
Perfectly located.
Breaking ball hangs high. Sal hit it right on the nose in the 2nd inning, and the shortstop Ramirez made a good play and then threw from a knee to get Sal. That's back into the 4th row. And speaking of this weekend series with the Tigers, how about a Salvador Perez bobblehead? That's to the first 15,000 fans for the game on Saturday. One of the best moments in Royals history. That's Salvador throwing his arms in the air after the walk-off hit in the 12th inning of the wild card game. Royals will have 4 unique bobbleheads throughout the season, and each one celebrating a moment from each round of the playoffs.
A couple of sliders Salvador looked at. He liked him. He was shaking his head like, okay. But that good rip on a fastball. Ball was heading to the opposite field.
Up the right field line and foul.
3 high fastballs in a row to Perez. No wind at all, except for the hot air in the booth. On my side.
What do you say? Speak for yourself.
Look, I'll be the first to tell you. And there's many fans will understand that, but right here, drive him.
Brandon Moss in right field waits and brings it down. So this time the Indians get a big hit, and their pitcher knocks down the Royals in the next inning.
Game break, no one in attendance in Baltimore. Some history here. I mean, look at the seats. Absolutely no one to see Chris Davis going deep with everything going on in Baltimore right now. Fans on the outside looking in. 8-2 Orioles, and I know this will break a lot of Royals fans' hearts, but that home run in the first inning coming off of Jeff Samardzija. Samardzija in his first game since that brawl with the Royals. 5 innings, 10 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts.
Yikes. Well, I saw where Adam Eaton said before the game that they were going to try and take the crowd out early, take the crowd out of the game, and it was the other way around as the Orioles got 6 runs in the first inning. Brandon Moss grounds out to Omar Infante. Moss is 0 for 2. Do you imagine nobody in the crowd in a big league stadium?
Nope, never been done before. It's kind of like playing a B game at 9 o'clock in the morning in spring training. In a B game, they do that because they have so many players in camp. They want them to get a chance to play.
You know, we stayed across the street at that hotel, the Hilton, and those were some of the best seats today. I'm not joking either. Yeah. You could go out there on the, on the rooftop up there, or even from some of the rooms and watch that game.
Chest over Eric Hosmer's glove. Well, David Murphy, who lined to deep center first time up, rips a 1-out single in the 4th inning.
Now batting for the Tribe, third baseman Lonnie Chisenhall.
And now Lonnie Chisenhall. Yordano Ventura has only struck out 1 so far, and that was Chisenhall with a cutter back in the 2nd inning. Royals got 2 in the first. Kendrys Morales drove in Escobar and Moustakas with a single. And the Indians got a 3-run home run from Kipnis in the 3rd. And now Sal's going to go out and have a little chat with Ventura. And while they talk, we tell you about Diamond of Dreams, which is coming up on July 23rd. Fox Sports Kansas City invites you to join current and former Royals on the field. You'll enjoy a menu from local restaurants, live music, and a fireworks show, all for charity. You can buy your tickets now at royals.com/Diamond of Dreams. And every time I see a seagull on the field at Progressive Field, I can't help but think about one of the most bizarre finishes in Royals history, or at least since I've been here. Escobar goes out into shallow left field to make the play. Remember this? Shin-Soo Choo into center field off a seagull. Otherwise, Coco Crisp may have had a play at home plate, but the ball deflected away from Coco Crisp. That was back in 2009.
Tough way to go.
Sam Abramson, our lightning fast associate producer, pulling that one out of the archives. There they are. I guess specifically these would be lake gulls.
Yeah, there's not a sea anywhere around here. Except for on the helmet of the Indians.
Sal keeps it in front of him. Roberto Perez came up in the 3rd inning. He had been 0 for his last 18. Yordano Ventura fell behind. And Perez got a fastball up, stroked it into left field for a single that got the inning going. Michael Bourne singled, and then Kipnis hit the 3-run home run. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Indians, of course, without Yan Gomes, their starting catcher. The Indians feel about Gomes the way the Royals feel about Salvador Perez, and they locked him up to a long-term contract, but Gomes is out with a knee injury. So Roberto Perez has become the regular. All Yan Gomes can do right now is sit back and watch the games and watch fellow Brazilian Paulo Orlando, who is in right field.
They're really missing his bat, that's for sure.
Fouled back just below us. Take nothing away from Yan Gomes. He was born in Brazil, so that qualifies, but he moved to the United States when he was 12 and grew up in Miami. So he is a Brazilian native, but he learned baseball here in the States at a rather young age. Paulo Orlando and Andre Rienzo, born, raised, and still live in Brazil. So it took them a little longer to get to the big leagues. Joe and Monty visiting with a broadcast crew from Brazil, Fox Sports Brazil, and over here yesterday interviewing Orlando and Gomes at the same time. So Roberto Perez getting some more playing time, and Brett Hayes, who was with the Royals parts of last year and the year before, has been the Indians' backup catcher. And now Perez walks.
Cleveland batters are making Ventura throw strikes. They've got a pretty good game plan. They're trying to lay off of his curveball and his changeup and just looking dead red, but they're making him throw strikes, waiting him out.
Just missed if it did. Michael Bourne singled and scored on Kipnis' home run in the third inning.
Come on, Jerry. That's
a bit of a tight zone tonight, both sides. What was that pitch? Sal wants to know.
I don't understand.
It looked like Jerry Meals wanted to call that a strike, and then saw that Sal had dropped it.
So call it a strike anyway, just because he drops it.
Not all umpires do that.
I know. Try not to get upset.
Inning over, so Ventura looking in as Salvador Perez is still talking to Jerry Meals about his strike zone. Ventura's not very happy. To an end, Yordano Ventura appeared to be very upset with Jerry Meals' strike zone. So Salvador Perez engaged Jerry Meals in a long conversation, long enough for Yordano to get off the field and maybe take some of the attention away from Ventura.
Yeah, Salvador, he knows now, okay, I can leave now. Ventura's in the dugout. So Ned Yost meets Salvador Perez at the top steps, and Salvi said a couple words to Ned. Ned looked at the umpire and said some things to the umpire. Wasn't real happy that he was talking to his catcher like that.
Omar Infante lost a hit on a good play at third by Chisenhall in the second inning. And another chance for Chisenhall. Straddling the line. It is ruled a fair ball catch. And one down to Paulo Orlando. And let's bring in Joel.
Well, with Paulo coming up, you mentioned that crew from Fox Sports Brazil, Cadu Cortez and Thiago Alves. They were on the pregame, and they gave us a little bit of a Portuguese home run call.
Kansas City Royals, Kendry Morales. Fantástico, direto do Progressive Field, o campo do Cleveland Indians, meu caro Thiago Alves. Mais uma corrida anotada.
Mais uma corrida anotada, momento decisivo. O Royals consegue mais uma vez.
Great. I got to give our guy, local guy here, Todd, who does tape for us. He had the idea. Why don't you just have him recreate a home run call from last night? And so they did. Fantástico, as Cadu said. Great guys, and they're here to do those interviews with the Brazilian players. They said a lot of interest right now back at home, and they were telling us that Paulo has a friend back home that he played with growing up that's a chef, and he's got a hamburger type of restaurant. And they renamed, it's called the Captain, actually after Derek Jeter, but they renamed one of the hamburgers the Triple 16.
The Paulo burger.
Do you get a good deal?
There it is.
The Triple 16, do you get a good deal when Paulo hits a triple?
I think this thing is still evolving. But Paulo did tell me the other day that a bunch of people, remember when we asked him what triple is in Portuguese and he said triple?
Yeah.
He was corrected by everybody at home. I think he was kind of excited in the moment during the interview that he did with us. But he said it's tripla, or the accent, he kept correcting me, was tripla, Tripla.
Okay.
I like the nickname you gave him, Paulo Tripolo.
But apparently that's inaccurate now.
Not in America.
Yeah. Salazar strikes him out with a splitter. And now Salazar has retired 7 in a row. That is his 5th strikeout. A reminder that the 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Ballot is now open, and for the first time ever, it's online only. You can vote 35 times per email address for your Royals at royals.com/vote or at MLB.com on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. Look out. Fouled away again by Escobar, 0-2. Escobar singled to begin the game. Mike Moustakas followed with a single. 3 batters later, Kendry Morales hit a 2-run single. The Royals led 2-0 until Jason Kipnis hit a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 1-2 on Escobar. Salazar looking a lot better than he did in the first 2 innings. Now he had a 1-2-3 second inning, but the Royals hit 3 balls hard for outs. And now Salazar's retired the last 7. 2-2.
Salazar, though, he's doing what Terry Francona wants him to do. After the 3-run home run by Kipnis, now he's just really been. Oh, gosh.
It was a very loud and frightening sound, and we hope that the loud part was that ball got mostly helmet. It's like right on the ear flap. The pitch was 96 miles an hour. In a ironic twist, as Escobar is able to sit up. Escobar early in this at bat had a check swing that hit a female fan above the Royals dugout. She's being attended to as the ball got her right above the eye, and a couple pitches later Escobar takes one right off the ear flap. There was a time, and Salazar, you could see the reaction immediately. He did not intend to do that. There was a time when hitters didn't have the ear flaps. They would just wear what is known now as the skull cap, which is what the catchers wear underneath their masks. And at least by the look of one replay, it's a good thing that, and players have to have at least one ear flap in the major leagues, but it's a good thing that, I think that's where it hit him. Right?
Yeah, it did. And it's extremely fortunate. That's why you have that ear flap. But you're right, when they didn't have the ear flap, and then there was a time when they didn't have anything. They just would put a little hard metal lining around the inside of the baseball cap. But, you know, it didn't have any helmets at all back in the day. And they threw a lot, they hit a lot of batters. Speaking of that, is that the 17th time the Royals have been hit by a pitch this year?
That would be the 20th time the Royals have been hit by a pitch. Tied with the Texas Rangers, and then a big drop off. Boston and Baltimore, their hitters have been hit 12 times.
Moose has been plunked 6 times. Now the whole thing, you know, obviously that was a pitch that got away from Salazar, but you would hope that Ventura would not hit a Cleveland Indian.
You can hear an applause in the background. The lady who was hit by the Escobar foul ball is on her feet and walking up the steps. And I should say, attended to immediately by several Royals fans. Scary inning. MLB.com @bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected to the Royals all season wherever you are with the MLB.tv Game of the Day. In-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, and more. And for more information, go to Royals.com. Jason Kipnis leads off. He's the Indians' leadoff hitter, but in the third inning with 2 on and nobody out, he had a 3-run home run. His first home run since July of last season. He had gone 286 plate appearances without a home run.
Hope Escobar's all right, but I can tell you that there are some Cleveland Indian batters that are a little uneasy. Even with what's gone on the last couple of times that Ventura's gone out, he's had to protect his hitters. You would hope he wouldn't hit a batter, but I can tell you that it's in their minds.
Wow. Man.
I just don't understand that. Where do you have to put the ball, Jerry? That is right down the middle of the plate. Come on.
Leadoff walk to Kipnis.
I'm taking
Ventura's third walk.
If I was an Indian, I'd be taking every pitch too.
And if you weren't with us in the earlier innings, that pitch is on the border of the grid, if you're going to believe the grid. I'm not sold on the grid yet, but we'll go with it. But Ventura has put pitches on different parts of the grid, and he's either missed in the home plate umpire's mind, and Salazar too a few times, we'll be fair, on different parts of that strike zone. And the feeling is, and I'm sure Salvador Perez has said to Jerry Mills, hey, you got to give him something.
Even right down the middle of the plate, it's not good.
And Ventura throws it away. He almost nailed Sandy Alomar Jr., the first base coach.
He's got lightning quick feet. Sandy almost got drilled. He's got an excellent pickoff move, but he was off. Kipnis thought about going to third base, but with nobody out, why risk it?
See Christian Colon staying in at shortstop after Escobar was hit by the pitch last half inning.
If I'm Francona right here, I'm not bunting him. The way the Royals score runs late, I'm hoping Ramirez can pull the ball and get a base hit and try to knock him in.
Well, he bunts foul. And as we learned last year, when Ned Yost had been criticized for putting on the bunt, and I say that in quotations, and in one instance was Lorenzo Cain in the American League Championship Series early in the game. As Ned reminded us, and it might be the case here, sometimes the player does it on his own. Back to Ventura. And that nailed Kipnis. Where did that get him?
Well, wherever it got him, Ventura, even half speed with his throw, it's going to hurt. Great reaction there. I mean, he let it wing, and it looked like it hit him right in the right shoulder. Good throw. He doubles him up.
And it really wasn't a terrible throw. I mean, it was right on the bag, but Kipnis slid into it. The presence of mind to have a ball hit that hard back at you, to catch it and immediately think, hey, double play.
And you know, his hands were soft, Ventura's. He didn't jump. He didn't jump at it. He just let the glove make the play on a reaction like that.
One and one on Brantley, and Ventura's handled him just fine so far with 2 ground balls to the right side, 1 to Hosmer, 1 to Infante. One and two. Another ground ball to the right side. Infante plugs the hole, throws out Brantley, 2 down, and Kipnis goes to third as Ventura, with 2 down in the 5th inning, is now up over 80 pitches. He'd like to have a quick one here after 19 in the 2nd, 21 in the 3rd, and 19 in the 4th.
Command issues and the patience of the Indians offense is the culprit. And Jerry Meals' tight strike zone.
Carlos Santana walked in the 2nd, grounded out in the 3rd, but he's had some vicious swings against Ventura tonight. Kipnis walked, went to 2nd on Ventura's errant pickoff attempt, and to 3rd on a ground ball. That saved a run.
So does that go down as a defensive run save?
It should, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know all the criteria, but he saved a run, and that's not a routine play.
No, especially to your backhand side.
Three and one. Brandon Moss is on deck. The newer ballparks, the fans behind home plate are a lot closer than they are here. So you get a ball by the catcher in this ballpark, and it's almost always an automatic run. Another vicious swing by Santana. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Great spot. Not too many hitters can catch that pitch there. If he's down low, that ball's a homer.
The Indians want to balk.
Looked like Ventura stepped.
The Indians are screaming that he may have stepped off, but that he separated his hands before he stepped off.
Well, the Indians dugouts all animated, but I didn't see one umpire flinch.
And I like what Salvador Perez is doing right now, because the Indians are screaming balk, and Sal's out there just to make sure, hey, don't let him get to you. Don't listen to him. Let's get the last strike.
It's part of the trying to disturb him. Now watch.
Well, but had his hands come together. I mean, you can't separate the hands once you come to a set position, but it had the hands come together when he stepped off.
It looked like a balk to me.
Foul ball.
It hurts. Only for a little bit.
Blocked by Sal. Santana walks again. 2 walks in the inning. And 4 in the game for Ventura. And now Brandon Moss and Yordano Ventura. Remember this? 6th inning. Brandon Moss with a 3-run home run. He had hit a 2-run home run in the 1st inning.
Oakland was feeling pretty good about themselves right then.
7-3 at that point.
Why not?
Now to Infante in shallow right field. And tonight it's been Ventura getting Moss, who is 0 for 3. Our contestant is Nicky Summers from Shawnee. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Nicky is the winner of $1,700. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Nicky wins $25,000 from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals. And you've got Lorenzo Cain, Eric Hosmer, Kendrys Morales, and possibly Alex Gordon coming up. Nicky. Lorenzo just 1 for 11 in this series. 0 for 2 tonight against Salazar. A little bit inside with a breaking ball. Royals got 2 in the first. Morales drove them both in. Cleveland got 3 in the third on a Kipnis 3-run home run. 2-0. Cain ahead in the count, 3 balls, no strikes. Three and 1 to Cain. Salazar has not walked a batter tonight. He did hit Alcides Escobar on the left side of the face in the 5th inning. Escobar had to come out, and Cain into right field, a base hit in front of Moss. So both pitchers have gone 5 innings. Salazar has faced 1 batter in the 6th. No walks, 5 strikeouts. Ventura 4 walks and 1 strikeout. And I mentioned the hit batter. No word yet from the Royals clubhouse, but Alcides Escobar was able to get to his feet and walk off without assistance after getting drilled in the 5th, and appeared to Get him on the ear flap on the left side of his helmet.
Yeah, now that's the term used for that is a bean. He got beamed. I hear people say when a guy gets hit in the side or he gets hit in the legs, he got beamed. That's not the right terminology. That's why a beanie is a beanie you put on your head. When you get beamed, you get hit in the head. That's exactly what happened to Escobar. If you get hit anywhere else in your body, you get drilled.
Or plunked.
That's right.
Out of play, 1-1 to Hosmer. Still has his cell phone as far as we know. I understand we made some national non-sports shows showing our buddy tumbling over the seats getting a foul ball last night.
Gotta love it. Love the effort. The guy, you know, he was competing against himself.
Yep.
Watch this. He's got all day. Could have walked around, got to it. Lost his phone, his cold drink. And he pounced on it, almost hurt himself.
I love the guy a few rows in front with the red hoodie on. Blasted into left center field. That is gone. Eric Hosmer into the bleacher seats. And the Royals have regained the lead against Salazar in the 6th inning. And congratulations to Nicky Summers and Shawnee. $1,700 coming your way, courtesy of Sonic and the Royals.
Oh, and I'm going to tell you what, that was loud. On contact. I knew it was out of the ballpark. Hosmer did too. That was extremely well struck. Look at the leg kick. Nice flamingo style. Gets the hands back. Drops the head of that bat. Nice level stroke. Stayed inside. Tracer burns are on Michael Bourne's, the center fielder's face, as that ball left the yard in a hurry. Hosmer leaned on it. Second one of the year.
And now Hosmer is 6 out of 12 against Salazar with 3 doubles and a home run.
That rocket shot might have ripped a couple of rows out.
Kipnis handles the line drive for Morales. Well, HUD 2 nights in a row now.
Stepping in for the
Last night, the Royals faced Trevor Bauer. We get another look at Hosmer's home run. Trevor Bauer, HUD, had allowed 2 runs in 19 innings. No home runs. The Royals scored 3 runs against him with a home run. Tonight, Salazar came in, having allowed just 3 runs in 13 innings. And the Royals have scored 4 runs against him in 5 1/3. So they're not just beating up at times any old pitching. They're beating up pretty good pitching.
No, they're good. No wonder pitchers try to stay inside with the fastballs on them, because they don't want them to get out there and get extended. It's a Hosmer especially. But you got to credit Hosmer for looking for the fastball out over, but staying inside of it, not trying to roll over and just hitting a frozen rope. I mean, that ball was laced. Gordon is going to have to think about that one as it hits your back knee. That hurts. The top of your back knee, that's the last place you want to hit yourself.
Salazar comes back with a strikeout, his 6th. Remember, Alex, the other night against Corey Kluber took a pitch off of his right shin. Salvador Perez digs in with 2 down. One ball, 1 strike. Sal is grounded out to short. He hit that ball very hard. And he's flied out to right field. "95 pitches for Salazar, and we showed you Zach McAllister warming up in the Indians bullpen. Salazar strikes out 2 in the inning to give him 7, but the Royals strike as well. Eric Hosmer gives the Royals a 4-3 lead.
Oh, that ball was laser lined. Second of the year for Haas.
Votes this year as the country was introduced to him, and you can vote for Royals and Eric Hosmer at first base at Royals.com/vote. And here's our all-star, Jeff Montgomery. What you just said, 92, 93, 96.
That's right.
Okay. Hud, your years?
Absolutely never made an all-star ballot even.
Not even on a ballot?
Never. Never one time, except for the write-in that my mother wrote. She wrote me in one time. How do you play that many years?
And that didn't get you in an all-star game?
And never was on a ballot. That's how great, that's how good a player I was.
Have you had a chance to talk to anybody about that? Or
no, look, I got over it.
Been able to process that? Or
look, how do you get your time in without making the ballot? I don't know.
Moustakas picks it off and throws out Murphy. David Murphy's 1 for 3. And now Lonnie Chisenhall will come up. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout, which is our sprint cut of the game. Here we are, Monty, 5 1/3 into Ventura's outing. He has 1 strikeout.
Well, he's not really gotten a lot of calls. I think he's been around the plate, but I like to see him be a little bit more effective with his 2 off pitches, his changeup and his curveball. Maybe in some situations where that will come in handy here as this game moves forward.
So we thought that the Indians might give him a hard time, maybe do some bench jockey and cat calling from the dugout to mess with Ventura. But as it turns out, it's Jerry Meals, the home plate umpire, that's testing him.
Yeah, you're right. It seems like there are a lot of pitches, especially in the bottom part of that strike zone. He's not getting called, and Yordano Ventura, like any pitcher, you're going to try to make a living in that bottom part of the strike zone. You want those pitches.
You just brought up a good point, though, Monty. So to make sure we don't go full homer here, but there have been times as Chisenhall bangs it off the wall and will end up at second base with a 1-out double. There have been a few occasions tonight where Ventura's been all over the place, and more times than not, you're not going to get the borderline calls, right? when you're all over the place.
It makes it a lot easier for the umpire when you're around the plate consistently, because if you're going to make a pitch that's maybe borderline, he has the ability to give you that pitch if you've been around the plate all night. We saw the one call that he didn't get when Salvador dropped the ball. It's a good example of when the umpire has the opportunity to make the call. He may make it if you're around the plate more consistently.
That was a nice piece of hitting on that breaking ball there by Chisenhall. He waited till it came down.
Pitch not called a strike, but Sal liked the location. Very aggressive with his fastball. I think he'd like to throw his breaking ball more, but as you pointed out, Monty, he's not getting many of them in the strike zone. Roberto Perez has tied the game. He's going to try for 2 on Lorenzo Cain, and he's in with a double. Roberto Perez was 0 for 18 when the game started, and now he's 2 for 2 tonight with a run scored, a walk, and a game-tying RBI.
And he's been all over Ventura's fastball all night. I don't know why you'd throw him a cookie right there.
Well, he got that one up in the strike zone, and
Perez been swinging, and he'd been barreling that ball in his previous 2 at-bats. Now, base hit, and he had a walk, but he fouled off some good fastballs there, and he just belted that one, and Ventura's done.
98 pitches. So tonight, it's the opponent answering the Royals. That's a switch. Chevy called to the bullpen. Franklin Morales coming on with left-hand batters coming up. Leads slip away tonight, and he gives way to Franklin Morales. We remind you tonight, Fox Sports Live will get you caught up on NHL and NBA playoff action and today's MLB games. You can see Fox Sports Live tonight on Fox Sports 1, or see it simulcast right here on Fox Sports Kansas City. Michael Bourne coming up, then Jason Kipnis. And then 2 batters after that, another left-hand hitter, Michael Brantley. Morales pitched Sunday in Chicago. He pitched Monday here and did not appear in the game last night. He inherits Perez at second base. Whoa.
Little chin music. Fastball slider.
Just over Hosmer's glove and down into the right field corner. Michael Bourne slams on the brakes with the Indians' third consecutive double. And now they've taken a 5-4 lead. That run is charged to Ventura.
That's exactly how you answer chin music.
That was up and in.
It came up and in, but Bourne pulled his hands in, and he struck it solid. I mean, that ball was raked right by Hosmer. Exactly what you want to do.
Bourne's a guy that the Indians have been looking to wake up all season, hitting just 181 coming into the game. A couple of hits tonight.
So now the Indians lead for the second time tonight. And that gets through Salvador Perez.
Not too many get under there. See how he came up a little bit too soon. I'm sure that'll be a wild pitch. Infield's in.
This will get another run home. Kipnis drives in his fourth of the game. And the Indians have their biggest lead. 6-4 is Michael Bourne. The third straight Indians double in the inning, all scoring.
That's what the wild pitch did. Got the runner over third base, little topper. Drive back in the driver's seat.
Jose Ramirez will bat right-handed for the first time. You know, Sal normally does a great job of getting down low and blocking pitches like that. He didn't that time, and I wonder if he wasn't going to throw down to second base, try and get Bourne.
He was coming up out of his crouch a little bit sooner than he typically does.
I think he was trying to get into a throwing position. So Yordano Ventura allows 5 runs in 5 1/3 innings with 4 walks. A season high 4 walks. 2-2. Royals have had leads of 2-0 and 4-3. The Indians have had leads of 3-2 and 6-4. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Michael Brantley is next. Well to center field, and Kane is there to make the play on Ramirez, who lines out for a second time tonight. With 1 out, the Indians hit 3 consecutive doubles, all score, and they have a 2-run lead. last night. The Cleveland Indians got 3 runs in the 6th inning for a 2-run lead. Sound familiar? The Royals answered with 6 in the 7th inning against the Indians bullpen. And here they come now, down by 2, top of the 7th inning against the Indians bullpen.
Yeah, they'll be looking to do it again. This Indians bullpen has really had struggles during the course of the season, so hopefully the Royals look for this opportunity to get back in this game, get another lead back.
McAllister pitched on Monday night, an inning and a third. He faced 4 and retired 4, including Omar Infante, who grounded out to short. Omar tonight has grounded to third and popped to third.
McAllister, good fastball, 87 to 96. He'll cut it just like he did there, a little cutter. Curveball, changeup. He's a starting pitcher, but he'll mix in a few off-speed stuff. 6'6", 240, big guy.
1-2. Remember how Omar Infante got off to a slow start this year? Well, coming into tonight, he's hit safely in 12 of the last 13 games. Chisenhall was playing very deep at third, and he's on target to get Infante 1 down.
Chisenhall has a really good arm. No problem.
Royals bullpen has the best ERA in the American League. Cleveland Indians, the worst ERA in the American League. Orlando against Danny Salazar, lined to center and struck out. Off the plate and foul. Tell you what, we might have been a little concerned if in the middle of spring training we thought, you know, Paulo Orlando, who's never played in the big leagues, he might have to play some significant time as the starting right fielder. Strike 3 called. He is 0 for 3 tonight, but he has hit safely in 10 of his 12 starts.
I think one thing that's been good for Paulo is the fact that the Royals lineup has such depth in it. They're not really looking for, you know, anyone to shine. They're looking for everybody to be out there and do their thing, and he's been able to kind of ride along with that and be part of that key offense and get things done. He doesn't have to do too much.
Christian Colon bats for the first time. It's up the right field line, right on the line. Well, Christian Colon, who has great memories of this ballpark, he got his first, second, and third major league hits here on the 4th of July last year. All extra base hits.
He was running out of the box. He knew it was going to stay fair, or he hoped it would, and it ends up hitting the chalk. There you go.
Did you see where that pitch was to strike out Orlando?
It looked like it was off the grid.
Okay, just checking. Just checking.
You're trying to stir me up.
No, I'm just asking.
On the umpire.
It was a one-word answer to my question.
Right.
Ball 1 to Mike Moustakas. Okay, now I didn't ask for this. I'm just saying. Pretty close, though.
McAllister better be careful if he's coming in there. Like right there on that spot. That's the spot.
I think this is the guy the Royals want up in this situation. The way he's swinging the bat right now.
And there's 2 outs.
Pitch over the outside, 2-1.
Usually means runs.
Chisenhall makes the play to end the inning. Stretch time in Cleveland. The Indians lead 6-4. Trucks, visit thoroughbredford.com. By Jack in the Box. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price every day. Royals going for a 3-game sweep. The Indians trying to avoid that. And that little guy, all he cares about is that dish of ice cream. And try and take that spoon out of his hand. You might need a crowbar. Line to Hosmer. 1 pitch, 1 out for Franklin Morales. And Michael Brantley, believe it or not, is 0 for 4.
He's had a couple loud outs, but outs nonetheless.
Morales replaced Ventura with 1 out in the 6th inning. Ventura charged with 5 runs in 5 1/3. And a couple of those runs scored after Giordano came out of the game. Santana walked twice against Ventura. Giordano had a season high 4 walks tonight. No swing. Paul Emmel quick and to the point. Great emotion and enthusiasm. Holding it so that we could catch it on. Oh no, we weren't able to do that. Aren't the umpires taught to hold it for a while so the cameras can catch it? You can let people know at home whether he went around or not.
I don't know. I'd like to go to umpire school myself.
You would?
I could learn a few things.
You want to go to full umpire school just to learn a few things?
Mainly for my my wife to get me out of the house. She'd love it. Another walk. That's 3 walks.
Did you hear what Joe Lavero just said?
What did he say?
He says, I sense a reality show.
Let's go to
Rex Hudler going to umpire school.
Let's go to umpire school.
Joe is an award-winning documentary producer, but he's made it very clear that he would watch that show, but he would not want to produce it.
Well, look, I just want to go for the knowledge.
Brandon Moss is 0 for 3. Royals have stacked the right side of the infield for Moss. That was a swing on appeal to third base umpire Andy Fletcher. Crack bat. Infante to second. Colon. Middle off line, and Hosmer had to leave the bag. 2 down.
Got him off balance. Infante playing over in that pole over there. Hard time getting 2 on that one.
Yeah, that's a tough play for Colon because he's not coming from the left side of second base. He was also on the right side of second base. That was probably something he hasn't done very often.
It's what happens when you shift like that in double play opportunities. Sometimes you're out of position.
Indians make a move. Ryan Rayburn will bat for David Murphy, and when he is announced, Ned Yost comes out to remove Franklin Morales and bring in Ryan Madsen.
I saw, dive to the right side and just missed the ball. So as soon as I see the ball in the outfield, I don't know what I think in that moment. I just started running, feel happy for the fans, feel happy for Kansas City Royals.
Well, he was Superman that night, wasn't he? That is a night. And I'm speaking for thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands across the country. A night we will never forget.
Ryan, your call was outstanding on radio.
Thank you, Hud.
That'll never get old. Never.
Coming over today, my cab driver was even commenting on how spectacular that game was.
Got a man there.
Tough time of night, but Infante sees it and brings it down. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Ryan Madsen. Royals coming up in the 8th inning, down by 2.
Around baseball today as Panera takes us around the league, and the Tigers winning again. White Sox lose to Baltimore, told you about that. Tampa in extra innings, and Houston right now, they are playing great baseball, sweeping San Diego. How about our Mazda game break? 6 combined home runs in this game, 3 from the Tigers, 2 from Miguel Cabrera, and 1 from James McCann. It was his first career home run, and yes, it was an inside-the-park home run. Are you kidding? We'll have to talk to him about that one tomorrow. The Twins, Ryan, they had a 7-3 lead in this one and lost 10-7. Heads up in the booth.
Ball 1-2, Lorenzo Cain.
You always worry about balls coming up here and getting hit. Did you almost just get hit?
By a ball that was already up here. 2-0 on Lorenzo Cain. Lorenzo Cain has an inside-the-park home run in his career.
I'd like to see him hit one now. Or maybe he could just get on and Hosmer could do it.
In Detroit, correct?
That's where it was. Nice big yard. I love that yard. He can get him here, though, too. Or, I mean, not here, but at the K.
September the 8th, Lorenzo Cain, Justin Verlander. Oh, that's right. Torrey Hunter lost his glove.
By the way, can I just ask, does Sammy Abramson just go to bed remembering every one of these plays?
Yeah, he does.
Unbelievable.
Ramirez throws out Cain. Lorenzo is 1 for 4. How about an outside the park home run? Back in the 6th inning with 1 on, nobody out. Eric Hosmer against Danny Salazar, our Dodge drive of the game.
Oh, I'm going to tell you what. There's a lot of definitions for a line drive. You can pick out any one you want. Frozen rope, linea,
trolley wire.
What else?
Laser beam.
Oh, tremendous stroke that was. He don't get cheated. And when he connects, there's not a ballpark in America that can hold him. Including Yellowstone.
Late swing. 1-2 against McAllister. Zach McAllister took over in the 7th inning.
A really good change up there.
No swing. See, that's how you do it. You say no swing, and then you hold it for a little while. Give television a chance to show our viewing audience whether it was a swing or not.
Barely checked it.
Three and two with Kendrys Morales next.
How about a blue darter? That's a Dizzy Dean.
That's right, yeah. And wipe the dust off of that term.
I heard Dan Gladden using it today on their broadcast.
Second strikeout for McAllister. 2 down in the 8th inning.
McAllister, so far, he's stepping up. In a time of the game, in the first 2 games of this series, where their bullpen has not stepped up. McAllister is accepting the challenge from Tito. And going with it. Good hard fastball, mixing a changeup, rolling up a couple breaking balls.
The Royals scored 2 in the first inning tonight on Kendrys Morales. 2-out, 2-run single. So Morales and Hosmer have driven in the Royals runs tonight. Good pitch over the outside, 1-1. Morales has now hit safely in 19 of the Royals' 21 games, and one of his outs tonight was a line out to second base. One and two. McAllister at 96. 3 up, 3 down with a couple of strikeouts. So the Royals are down to their last 3 outs on offense. Cleveland comes up in the bottom of the 8th. Saturday, MLB on Fox Sports 1 continues with another doubleheader, starting with a West Coast interleague showdown between the Angels and Giants, followed by the Reds squaring off against the Braves. Coverage begins at 2:30 on your home for baseball every Saturday, Fox Sports 1, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Ryan Madsen begins his first full inning. He came on in the 7th inning and threw 1 pitch and got pinch hitter Ryan Rayburn to pop out. The Indians have gotten a lot of production from the lower third of the order, and that's who Madsen will face. Chisenhall, Perez, and Bourne. They have scored 5 of the 6 Cleveland runs. They have driven in 2. Seven, 8, 9 one-hitters done the damage tonight for the Indians. Jason Kipnis has a 3-run home run as the Indians leadoff man tonight. Terry Francona, Brad Mills, they go way, way back.
Sure do. Back to their playing days. Ooh, Madsen tough now. Madsen 90-95 with that fastball. And a Bugs Bunny changeup. I mean, a changeup that you could swing at twice and never hit it. Reaching back, Madsen with all kinds of experience in the big leagues with Philadelphia at the back end of their bullpen. What a nice acquisition. What am I trying to say?
Get an I in there somewhere.
Acquisition?
There you go.
Great acquisition.
Accusation would work if you were accusing the Royals of having Ryan Madsen on the roster, which they do.
They had a big decision to make out of spring training, and they made the right one. Just another strong bullpen arm in the Royals.
Big night for Roberto Perez. Indians catcher was 0 for his last 18 when he singled and scored in the 3rd inning. He walked in the 4th and then doubled with an RBI and a run scored in the 6th. There's the changeup.
Yeah, he's really turning around Ventura's fastball. Perez hit it hard twice. Here's the changeup again. Very well executed. And when you have a 93, 94 mile an hour fastball, it makes it even better.
That's hit well to right field. Wow. Have a game, Roberto Perez. Well, he can hit a fastball. We got that figured out tonight.
No doubt about it. That's a tremendous stroke right there. And the fastball is right over the plate saying, hit me. You could tell. Again, loud sound. Caught it just right. This guy, he's going to try to do the best he can in an audition situation while Yan Gomes is recovering. Perez keeps swinging the bat like that, he's going to find himself a regular job.
Just the 2nd run allowed by Madsen this year. That was an interesting pitch. Madsen had just fooled Perez with a changeup. And maybe the thinking was, okay, he's going to try and slow down a little bit here because he's out in front. Maybe he can sneak a fastball by him. And he was ready for the fastball. And good big league hitters. And I'm not going to call Roberto Perez a good big league hitter yet. And yet, good big league hitters, no matter what the count is, they are still ready for the pitch that they can hit, right?
You better believe that. And especially when you've touched up 96, 97 earlier in the game for 2 hits. He turned Perez around. I mean, he turned Yordan Ventura. So he's just swinging a hot bat. Certain guys on certain nights are looking dead red and they don't miss it.
There's that great changeup. Madsen has struck out 2 in the inning.
Now stepping in for the drive, number 22, Kipnis.
Good news in regard to Alcides Escobar, who was hit by a Danny Salazar pitch in the 5th inning on the left side of his face. It appears that it got most of the hard plastic ear flap, and yet anytime a player is hit there, very frightening, very dangerous. But just getting word now from the Royals clubhouse, a left cheek contusion, which is a fancy word for a bruise. It's about the best news you can expect when a pitch at 96 comes in and hits a player in the head or the face. Colon out into left field to make the play. That puts an end to the inning. The Indians get a little insurance with the Perez home run. Cody Allen will try and close it out in the 9th. Transmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Corporation. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler, Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery. We're coming up on Boulevard Royals Live with director Steve Kurtenbach, producer Joe Lavero, associate producers Al Broughton, Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman, and the producer of Royals Live is Brian Shapiro. Cody Allen is on for the 9th inning with Alex Gordon, Salvador Perez, and Omar Infante coming up. And Cody Allen in 7 games has a 13.5 ERA. He has pitched a total of 6 innings, and he has given up 9 earned runs.
Yep, not good. Can't locate the fastball down the middle. 90 to 95. He's got a power curve. 2 pitches. And if you're not locating with that fastball, you're in trouble.
Right center field, and by Michael Bourne. Backed up quickly by Moss, but it rolls behind him. So Alex Gordon will be at third base with nobody out.
Are they going to give him a straight triple on that?
It's going to be a double and then an error on the second outfielder, Moss.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Fastball inner half, Gordon around on it at 94. Good effort.
Yeah, you think so in a 3-run game?
Oh, I'm not going to dive for it. I mean, it was nice attempt at the dive, but I'm definitely going to play that on a hop. Ooh.
Sal is 0 for 3 so far tonight. Oh, and 2. Sal is 2 for 5 in the past against Cody Allen with a walk and an RBI. Buckled in with a breaking ball.
That's the power curveball. It'll freeze you.
Cody Allen last year was 24 out of 28 in save opportunities. And against the Royals, he was 2 for 3. Omar Infante drops it out into shallow right field. And the Royals have a chance. Gordon scores to make it 7-5, and that immediately brings the tying run to the plate. So Omar Infante is now hit in 12 of the Royals' last 13 games.
Yep, nice to see they're getting a little bit of production out of him. And that's a nice lob shot. Perfect.
Paulo Orlando will face Cody Allen for the first time. 0 for 3 tonight, which includes a line out to center field. Oh, and 1.
Wouldn't this be a great time for his first major league homer? He had a nice rip there. He stayed inside the ball. Got a feeling that you can go deep to right field here because it's a launching pad 325, but I'm thinking Paulo's going to pull his whenever he hits one.
Right to Brantley in left field. 2 down in the 9th inning. Now Christian Colon coming up. The runner at first, 2 down. As promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Some of the impressive home runs hit by the Royals in this series.
Just one bomb after another. This is one of the things that's going to make the Royals a lot more potent offensively. You start getting some home run production out of them. Remember, they were last in the league in home runs and still climbed all the way to the top of the mountain last year. So they've got offensively what it takes. There's no question about it. And a pin to win. Starting pitching is going to have to pick it up a little bit with the Royals.
One and 1 on Christian Colon, who does not have a major league home run yet. He has batted once tonight and singled to right in the 7th inning. He pinch ran for Escobar when Escobar was hit by the Salazar pitch in the 5th inning. And we just told you that Escobar appears to be all right. A contusion to the left side of the face. Christian Colon last year made his big league debut in Minnesota. He had his first big league start here, 4th of July, and what a 4th of July for him. His first 3 big league hits in this ballpark, all extra base hits. Ball to strike. Perez had the ball pop out of his glove, and Infante will go to second base on what should be a pass ball, and it is.
Now he's calling it a strike. It wasn't for Ventura.
This is Cologne's first at bat against Cody Allen. Three and two. Mike Moustakas on deck. I would think Cologne's going to get something to hit right here.
You would think. You're looking fastball. Hopefully, Cologne finds a hole. Trades places with Infante. He's a spray hitter. He'll hit the ball to all fields. Smart hitter.
And he popped it up. Michael Bourne in center field. The Indians avoid the sweep. And for the Cleveland Indians, just their second home win of the year.